Well, hello, discipleship group leaders and discipleship groups. It's Richard here, and on Sunday I was talking about work as another of the big rocks that we need to consider for this year. And work means lots of things to us, actually, and we'll have a different understanding of work. I encourage a really broad definition, which is time and effort spent doing stuff which benefits others, for which we might expect some sort of reward. And so for me, I think actually I have multiple workspaces. Some are paid and some are not paid. And I want to encourage you to think about what your workplaces are that you put effort into and allocate time to. And it might be broader than you think as a group. Work is a good thing. It existed before the fall of mankind. It's a God thing, therefore, and it's actually a forever thing if we look at the Bible, into the book of Revelation. And we can think really in terms of God wanting to redeem and rescue work for his kingdom of God. And the question really to think about for our work, because work can seem often as something that's toil and effort, is how do we go about starting to make work part of the kingdom of God? And I think the first thing we need to do is to discard and throw away any idea of there being a hierarchy of good jobs and bad jobs. All jobs can matter to God. They're really important. And I give the example of the Pharisee and the tax collector. The tax collector's sin wasn't that he was a tax collector. It's that he was a sinner like the rest of us and needed the mercy of God. So that's the first thing to think about, is whether you have these hierarchies in your head and they need to be challenged. And you may have a different view about what's top and what's bottom. But we need to throw that away. The second thing we need to do is to make our workplaces part of God's work and think about God's mission for the world. And so that does involve thinking about what we do and how that contributes to making the world a better place, but also, very importantly, how we go about doing our work, whatever the job is, and how we bear fruit and demonstrate and witness, if you like, to Jesus and his transforming nature. And I've outlined a new course that I'll be running with the help of a few others, starting on the 9th of February, called Transforming Work, that I really hope some of you will consider joining and taking part in an 8-week course that I think is going to be really transformational for a number of people into completely rethinking your thoughts about work and re-energizing, if you like, your role as a disciple and as a fruitful disciple in your workplace. So, I think, in conclusion, before you open up for discussion, maybe, what I'm trying to say is our different workplaces that we have are all critical to God's plan of work and his mission. And therefore, they're also a critical part of the church's work, or at least they can be if we surrender them to God. And so church isn't just what happens at Kingsland or in the different groups and activities or in the discipleship group. A really critical part of what our church is the work that we do out there during the rest of the week when we're not resting. So take some time to look at some of the questions I've given you, and I hope you have a great discussion. Bye for now.